All right, here we go to some Fallout news. Fallout 5. Let's talk about it. I am so excited for this. This one is Fallout 5 just got good news. This is from Jimmy or Chaos Gaming. Please feel free to check out his channel. His information will obviously be in the description below so that you can go and check it out for yourself and see what their comments are like over there. So, really excited for Fallout 5. I don't know if you guys see my cat. She is, what size is that? She's right here. Oh, look, she just yawned. Oh, look. Okay. All right, so yeah, let's jump into this video and see what Chaos has to say.
Fallout 5. Yes, it is multiple years away, but trust me, there's some wild stuff that is flying around the internet. We're hearing whispers from credible insiders that Fallout 5 has been officially greenlit behind the scenes. What does that mean? There's even talk that it could arrive sooner than we've talked about in the past videos because of that big shakeup over at Bethesda. I know, sounds crazy. A new Fallout possibly fast-tracked. Come on, what reality are we in? Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Today, I'm going to break down everything from confirmed news timelines to the leaks, the rumors, the setting, the story, the gameplay features we might want, we might not want, and that huge twist that I just teased. Stick around for the second half of the video, and we're going to dig into that actual development. It could actually change everything for Fallout 5. So sit back, get comfortable. Remember, I read every single comment on every single video. You're not going to get one over me. If you comment and say, I bet you don't read this, look for that reply. Now, we always like to start off with the official news. And
let's do that.
What do we have officially about Fallout 5? Honestly, not a whole lot, but we do have a few nuggets. Bethesda's Todd Howard has confirmed that Fallout 5 will happen. He even revealed back in 2021 that the team has a one-pager design document outlining the game at a high level. That would be really cool to get your hands on. A one-page design document that outlines the game. In other words, they've sketched out some basic ideas for the story, the setting, and the features. The catch, though?
They might have Nicolas Cage going still like how he did in the Declaration of Independence.
Bethesda's plate has been very full. Howard made it clear the studio's priority was finishing Starfield, which is now out, of course, and then developing the Elder Scrolls 6 before turning their full attention to Fallout 5. Now, if Bethesda stuck to that old plan, we wouldn't expect to see Fallout 5 until probably well into the 2030s at the earliest, but Todd himself admitted he wished they could make these big games faster. But given their typical 4 to 5 year development cycles, that's a long wait. To put that in perspective, the Elder Scrolls 6 only entered full production after Starfield's release, and it's still years away. So traditionally, Fallout 5 would only start after that. Now, officially, Bethesda hasn't announced anything like a release year or a trailer. It's been radio silence. They're keeping expectations low because, as of the last public update, Fallout 5 was a distant project planned to come after Elder Scrolls 6. But, and this is a huge but, the landscape is changing under Microsoft's ownership. We'll get the game-changing rumors in one moment, and before that, it's worth noting the context here. Fallout franchise, it's hot again. It is. Bethesda dropped a surprise Oblivion remaster in 2025. Then a next-gen patch for Fallout 4, and there's an Amazon Fallout TV series that's been a huge hit. We're ready for Season 2. I think Season 3's already been greenlit as well. There is a ton of new interest in the games. We've been talking about Fallout 3 and 4 possibly getting remasters. I mean, player counts are...
Fallout 4 does not work for me. It doesn't work for me. I cannot go through doors in Fallout 4. I have uninstalled, reinstalled, wiped my computer. I have done everything. I cannot go through doors in Fallout 4. If I try to go through the museum door to meet Preston and shit, I cannot do it. I literally cannot do it. The game will have me sitting at the loading screen for literally 20 to 30 minutes. I'm not even lying. I swear to God, I'm not lying. I have tried to mod it and fix it. I've tried to put patches on it and it stays the same. In fact, I think it gets worse. But Fallout 3 is my favorite game of actual all time. I love Fallout 3. You would never be able to get me off of that game. Genuinely. If they remastered Fallout 3, that would be incredible. So with the Oblivion, the little surprise drop of that, it was just random. If they did that with Fallout 3, bro, my God, man,
Viking.
The content would go crazy.
So both fans and Xbox leadership are acutely aware of the demand for a new Fallout. Officially, though, Bethesda's line has been, it'll happen, but not for a long while. Now, let's talk about what might actually be changing here. Here's where things get really interesting. Recently, a very reliable insider, Jez Corden of Windows Central, spilled some really big stuff on his Xbox 2 podcast about Fallout 5. According to Jez, Fallout 5 has now been fully greenlit for development by Microsoft and Bethesda. This is a big deal, and you say, oh, it's greenlit. We knew it was going to happen anyway, but yeah, this means some things because it suggests the project isn't just an idea on paper anymore. It's actually moving forward in capacity. Even more intriguing is, Corden reported that Microsoft leadership made a strategic decision. They canceled a separate high-budget project, which was an unannounced MMO codenamed Project Blackbird. I'll let you guys give your best guess to what that game was, to free up resources for Fallout 5.
So that, to me, is interesting. That they canceled a game that they were planning to have come out to allocate resources over toward Fallout 5. So initially hearing that, I think to myself, well, maybe, obviously they're going to still have the coding for whatever they have worked on for that title, so they could release it at a later date, maybe some years down the line. But it's interesting because they had already sunk time, energy, effort, money into creating Project Blackbird, whatever that project actually was. So I am very interested in this now because I wouldn't expect another Fallout title until at least 2030, which would be 5 years away. So that's very... I wonder what that title would have been like.
In other words, they're reallocating people and money to make Fallout 5 happen.
I just said this.
His sources say it was a trade-off. Microsoft figured focusing on a new Fallout would be a surefire win compared to gambling on a new MMO.
Of course.
I would say they're right. And that goes back to what we talked about before. The old way to do things was wait until you get each one out. But if Microsoft is literally reallocating people and assets, this could mean it could come much quicker. Now, since Bethesda Game Studios' core dev teams are still busy with Starfield updates and Elder Scrolls 6, real question is who will actually develop Fallout 5? Now, Corden admitted he wasn't sure which studio is taking the lead, given BGS proper is tied up, right? Yeah. The rumor is that either another internal Bethesda team or possibly an outside studio could handle a bunch of the work.
I mean, yeah, but we got that during Fallout New Vegas, and that is revered as like the greatest Fallout of all time. I personally think that New Vegas is the best Fallout of all time, but Fallout 3 is my favorite. So we've already seen that this could happen, and it could be a great success, but it just depends on the core fundamentals of how Fallout 5 will play, to see if it was a good idea or not, given that Bethesda is tied to doing so many other IPs. So that would be really interesting. It's a very interesting thing to note. But yeah, we would definitely have to see how it plays compared to if Bethesda had released it.
Be a newly assembled team drawing talent from across Bethesda's subsidiaries. Example: some developers from ZeniMax Online, the folks behind the ESO and the Fallout 76. Maybe they pivot over to Fallout 5. Maybe. Microsoft might essentially create this Fallout task force, this joint task force to get this game off the ground sooner rather than later. Now, if that happens, this would be the first time since 2010's New Vegas that a mainline Fallout title isn't built by Bethesda's central studio. New Vegas, by the way, was made by Obsidian and is considered a classic, so having another studio involved isn't necessarily a bad thing. No. The goal here is clearly to accelerate the project. And remember how I said Fallout 5 looked like a 2030s game? Well, Xbox leadership seems eager to beat that timeline and capitalize on the current Fallout hype, especially with the Amazon TV show drawing in tons of new fans.
With that being said, Fallout 5, I'm going to tell you how this needs to play out. So I don't see Fallout 5 releasing before 2030. The only other exception is maybe 2028, but they would have to have the game ready by the end of 2026. So if it's already greenlit to go, there is a possibility of something like that. But what they should do is they should simply ride this wave right now. They need to strike while the iron is hot with the amount of hype that is going on with the Fallout TV show. They absolutely have to. Because, okay, so we already know that season 3 is already, it's confirmed. There will be a season 3. So, so we get season 2 this year, 2025. Say we get season 3, in 2027, and oh my god. So if you at the end of season 3, right? There's like the very last episode. Instead of it being like how season 1 ended, where you see Hank going to New Vegas, you just simply have a trailer for Fallout 5. You have a trailer. And at the end of the trailer, there's like a website for you to go onto. And you go onto this website, and then it's kind of like the loading screen for Fallout, with like the black and white, like the snow from like the TVs and stuff. And then it's just a release date. It's just a release date. And it says it's coming in 2028. So then for season 4 of the TV show will come out in 2029. And bro, what? Oh my god, bro, that would be god tier. Can you imagine that feeling? Like you see that and you're like, yo, what the? Like I didn't expect that. And then you're gonna come back to this video. That's what, 3 years away now, or yeah, 2 years away. You're gonna come back to this video and be like, dude, Coastal was right, bro. CJ's a knower, and I'm gonna be like, I know.
There's even speculation that we'll Fallout 5 ready for the time we get to the 3rd season. I mean, that would be huge. It's a bit of a moonshot, given how huge RPGs are. But what if they got it ready? And I do want to note, even Jez Corden cautioned that these reports are early days. Yeah. They should be taken with a grain of salt. Of course, everything on this channel is taken with a grain of salt. We know that.
Of course.
This was discussed casually on a podcast, not announced by an official press release or anything. But Jez is a well-regarded insider. The gaming community considers him generally reliable on Xbox info, and multiple outlets, GameSpot, Dexerto, all of them picked up this Fallout 5 greenlit story. The bottom line here, something is stirring at Microsoft and Bethesda regarding Fallout. Fallout 5 is no longer just a distant dream. It's in the works. Might just get our hands on it sooner than we expected, even 6 months ago. Now, let's talk about Fallout 5. Essentially getting the go-ahead. The big question every fan wants to know is, where's it going to be set? What's the story going to be? So far, Bethesda hasn't revealed any official details about the setting or the plot. They're under wraps, but we do have some clues and a lot of fan speculation. We know from Todd Howard himself and other Bethesda folks that Fallout is likely going to stay in the United States for locations. The series Americana vibe is kind of a...
I'm pretty sure, do not quote me, but I'm almost 100% sure, Bethesda openly came out and was like, we have zero interest in the rest of the world. We have zero interest. Like, they only want it to take place in the United States. So we will more than likely never get an official Fallout game that takes place overseas. So that one is... So it sucks for the people that are watching this that are overseas. But the truth of the matter is, I'm pretty sure Bethesda has openly came out and was like, yeah, we're not doing that, like, ever. So, and I mean, it's okay because you still have mods for it. You have, like, the Fallout... I seen a mod at a point in time. It was like a Fallout Mexico. There was Fallout Miami. I don't know if that one got just no support or if it's still a thing right now. But I know Fallout London is a thing that exists right now. So I'm very interested into where this one will take place, and I have a take that I wouldn't mind doing a full YouTube video on about where I personally think that it could take place at, and where I would like to see it take place at. So let me know down in the comments if you guys are interested in something like that.
Trademark. The retro-futuristic post-apocalyptic USA is
core to Fallout's identity.
Video, I promise. Todd actually said in one interview that their plan is to predominantly keep it in the U.S. going forward. So I'm really sorry to those who were hoping for Fallout London or Fallout Tokyo. I mean, at least in the main games, we're going to be roaming America's ruins.
Of course.
Now, that leaves a lot of possibilities, though. Past games have taken us to post-nuclear Washington, D.C., Fallout 3, Las Vegas, and the Mojave, New Vegas, Boston, Fallout 4, West Virginia, Fallout 76, among others. But Fallout 5 will probably certainly explore a new region we haven't seen in the official series. And there's theories out there. I want to know your best guess. One popular rumor, it's New Orleans. Interestingly, Bethesda reportedly registered a trademark or domain name for Fallout New Orleans several years back, which set off a ton of speculation. On top of that, Fallout 76 had an update that introduced some NPCs who came from New Orleans, almost like an Easter egg. I mean, true diehards took it as a hint. New Orleans could really offer a fresh setting. Imagine the French Quarter in ruins, swampy bayous with mutant gators. I mean, that would be cool. And you have that Cajun-flavored wasteland culture. It would be fun. It really would. I mean, besides NOLA, Fans on Reddit and forums, they have other ideas. New York City's a big popular one. I mean, of course, post-apocalyptic Times Square, Central Park, overrun with super mutants. We actually got a taste of that region in Fallout 76's Atlantic City update. I mean, it was New Jersey, but it's close. It has people wondering if a future game might head up the coast to the Big Apple. It could. Another contender is Chicago. And I think on our last video, a lot of you actually wanted Chicago in the comments. Chicago has some Fallout lore presence already. Fallout Tactics was set there, and the Brotherhood of Steel had a chapter in the Midwest. So there's an existing foundation to build on there. So imagine Chicago loot, crumbling skyscrapers, or exploring vaults under the Great Lakes region. Some fans even suggested returning to the West Coast. You have California, you have Nevada. Go back to them, especially with the Fallout TV show sparking those interests. I personally want to go somewhere new. New Orleans, Chicago, Florida, Miami, Texas, any of those would be really cool. Now, as for the characters and the story, we don't know. Fallout games typically standalone story-wise, new protagonist, new main conflict, but they do share the same universe, and they often have nods to each other, so we can safely assume Vault Tech and its vaults will be involved somehow.
Of course.
Always start in or around a vault.
Yeah,
there will likely be familiar factions making a return. The Brotherhood of Steel tends to show up wherever civilization is rebuilding. And of course, the Enclave, which is the remnants of the old U.S. government, might come back in some form if the setting makes sense. Now, if, say, Fallout 5 is in Chicago or the Midwest, we might actually see the return of the Midwestern Brotherhood or other classic groups. If it's in New Orleans or the South, maybe we get entirely new factions. And here's one cool little tidbit. The showrunner of the Fallout TV series, Jonathan Nolan himself, mentioned that the Amazon show storyline is completely separate. And Todd Howard even made sure the show writers didn't accidentally use any big ideas that Bethesda might be saving for Fallout 5. That tells me Bethesda already has some specific story ideas they want to explore in Fallout 5.
That is, to me, the greatest thing ever. I love that the show is its own separate entity. It takes place in the same universe, but it's its own separate entity. I love that so much because that way, whenever Fallout 5 releases, if the show has taken anything from it, then us Fallout diehard fans can't say, well, in the show, this is what happened, and the show came out first, so Fallout 5 is following the show now? No. So then that way, that to me, it's perfect. I love that so much. So that means that behind the scenes, if the showrunners have came up with an idea, Todd Howard and Jonathan Nolan were just like, let's not do that one. You know, and then they were like, well, why not? It's like, let's just not do that one. Because they've already thought of it before, and they've already penciled it out and said, you know what, we're going to have something like that take place in our main title versus it going on to the Fallout on Prime show. I think that having the show and the game and the show separate is God's tier. I think so, personally. I love that there are odes to the game in the show. And we've seen it. We've all seen it. If you've seen the show, you probably aren't on the channel if you haven't seen the show. But if you've seen the show, then you're probably like, oh, wow, you know, those moments where I saw this little thing, this little Easter egg from the game, I love that moment. But you didn't feel like the show had to follow a certain game that you played to a T. I think that is fantastic. I hope they keep doing that. I hope they don't ever stray away from that and just keep writing the show as its own story. Because you could just do so much with that.
Those are ideas important enough. They told the TV show, hands off. Now, we don't know what they are. That's kind of cool. Now, real quick, let's touch on gameplay features. Everybody wants to know about gameplay features. How would it play? Which features do you want or do you not want? Of course, there's no official gameplay footage or details. I mean, we're in the realm of educated guesses and wishes, but that's okay. That's what we do on this channel. Of course. The good news is we can look at Bethesda's recent trends, Starfield, listen to the community feedback from Fallout 4 and 76. And one thing I keep hearing from longtime fans is, please bring back deeper RPG mechanics. Fallout 4 was criticized for streamlining a few elements compared to earlier titles. Example, the classic karma system, where you were good or evil with your actions and it affected your reputation, wasn't in Fallout 4. Many players missed it. In older Fallout, your choices would actually make the people treat you differently.
They mattered.
So Fallout 5 could definitely benefit by returning to that kind of reactivity. The more nuanced dialogue options on high wish list too, I would say. Fallout 4's dialogue wheel only gave you a few choices, often just paraphrase, yes, no, sarcastic question. I mean, it's pretty limiting. We could definitely expand on those. And then, man, we talked about this with Elder Scrolls 6. World building and exploration. Fallout is all about exploring the open world. You have to scavenge, you have to build up your resources. Fallout 4 introduced the settlement building feature. It let us craft bases and communities, and I think it was a hit. I personally spent a lot of hours with my settlements, but it was also clunky.
Baby
So
Sean.
fans probably want more polished, refined building systems in Fallout 5. I mean, smoother controls for construction, more flexible placement for your structures. Just a generally less finicky interface would be really cool. I mean, imagine being able to build your own wasteland hideout without fiddling. And that would keep the creative players pretty happy if you ask me. And the Creation Engine 2, the engine used for Starfield, they could leverage that. They could make this thing absolutely amazing. Now, combat. Fallout 4 and 76, they leaned heavy into shooter territory. I mean, Fallout 4 actually had pretty solid FPS mechanics. So I'm going to bet the Fallout 5 will continue to refine the gunplay. I mean, they got to keep the series unique. Of course, they have to keep that targeting system in some form, possibly updated for modern times, but they're definitely going to modernize. There's been a lot of talk about vehicles or even mounts, and since that's one thing Fallout has never really given us in-game, beyond fast travel or riding vertibirds, this could be big. If the map in Fallout 5 is huge, which I expect it to be, we need to be able to travel. Maybe finally hop in a Mad Max-style rigged car, or at least ride a tame mutant creature. Something. Don't put Ark in this, but you guys know what I mean. Now, the biggest point of debate I think we're going to have today. Single player versus multiplayer. After the experiment of Fallout 76's online world, a lot of people, myself included, really want Fallout 5 to return to the single player focus that made Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4.
Yes. To me, it needs to be single player. Bethesda openly came out and called 76 an experiment. An experiment. Nothing more, just an experiment. People have been saying for literal years. I remember being in middle school, playing Fallout 3, and a buddy of mine saying, man, this should be multiplayer. Because at that time, like, Call of Duty was out. So it was like, oh, imagine a Fallout game, but it's like you can shoot at each other. And like you can like roam around the wasteland together. That was in 2009, 10-ish area. I know Fallout 3 came out in 08. And it was like, no. No, you shouldn't do this. You know what I mean? So my whole thought process on that is if you're gonna do it, you should do it in a way where you can just like have someone drop in with you at a point in time, but it should predominantly be single player. I don't think that it should be I don't personally think it should be multiplayer, but if there's a crowd for it, then that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think that Bethesda's gonna do it at all. I think it's gonna just be single player, if you want me to be completely transparent with you.
So engrossing and encompassing. The good news is, every indication so far suggests Fallout 5 will indeed be a story-driven solo RPG at heart. Yeah. That's what Bethesda Game Studios does best.
Exactly.
However, it doesn't rule out some online or co-op functionality entirely. There are fans who wouldn't mind a co-op mode. They like a chance to explore the wasteland with a friend. As long as it's optional and doesn't detract from the solo experience, I'm on board. Yeah. In fact, even gaming journalists have mused that adding a co-op option, maybe like Dark Souls lets you summon a friend, or how Borderlands does a drop-in co-op, could be a great way to have multiplayer without making it an MMO or a live service game. Just be careful. That's all I'm going to say, is be careful. So there you go. I mean, in summary, I would say expect evolution, not revolution, when it comes to the gameplay and the mechanics. I think they'll modernize to a degree, but I don't think they're going to go away from what makes it special. That's kind of where I'm at. I mean, settings, we've already talked about this. New Orleans, Chicago, New York, Florida, Miami, Midwest. Could be any of those. Texas. Which one do you guys want? Could we get this sooner than later? Absolutely. With Microsoft shifting and reallocating, you bet we could see this before 2030. I'm not going to give you a guess this time. We'll see if we get anything new, but maybe on our next update video we do down the road, we'll try to lock in that date. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Chaos. So yeah, honestly, Fallout 5 is looking really good so far. What we're hearing that is going on in-house that we don't know too much about, so we could just kind of speculate. Let's just speculate and keep our hopes high. And honestly, yeah, I'm really excited for it. I would love to put out a video where I give my take on what I would like to see from Fallout 5, especially the setting of it. I think that would be what I have in mind is really dope. So I would love to see if you guys would like to be, if you guys would be interested in that. But other than that, please like, comment, hit the subscribe button on this channel. And if you would like to check out my other channel, it's just the regular CJ Coastal channel, feel free to go over there. I don't have many Fallout videos over there, oddly enough, I know. But yeah, I just been, it's whatever. It's Call of Duty and Battlefield right now. But I have been thinking about making some New Vegas content, some modded New Vegas content over there, just in case one of those games suck. Or both those games suck. But other than that, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you guys on the next one whenever I make it. Bye-bye.